Welcome back to the Agamemnon Game Review. Today we're shooting a video for Star Trek Online. It's been some time since we actually shot a video for Star Trek Online. At least over 6 months that I can remember. Probably longer than that. I've been wanting for some time to get back to making actual videos other than streaming. And most of the games that we're going to be making videos for will be the ones pretty much on the laptop and not on the PlayStation. Since we can stream those, it's, I think, much better experience to stream from the PlayStation and then shoot videos from the laptop. Before we proceed, today's recording is being recorded on the 10th of May, 2018. It's Thursday. It's actually 12:33 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. The actual footage was shot on the 7th of May 2018. I'm intending this to be a weekly video series. This and World of Warcraft. Rather than shoot it every single day, as it's very time consuming. I'm just going to shoot for about an hour, maybe a little over an hour each week, and then like on Monday that gives me all week long to prep the video, and then so the videos will pretty much be a week behind when they're released on the next Monday or following Monday. So here we go. We're using our main character in Star Trek Online. This character's been around a long time, over 8 years. Ever since beta, that's when I first made the character. Going all the way back. There's her ship. I've changed the name since the last video of this ship to the Lady Sylvanas. Since I play a Horde character in World of Warcraft, I wanted to rename the ship after the Dark Queen herself. When I was recording the video, was kind of a, not necessarily a buzzing, but a annoying like ticking noise going on, and it was caused by the sound effects engine in the game. It was resonating with the microphones. It has since ceased. I can't hear it on the actual recording now, but it was during the live session. It was quite annoying, so I was trying to alleviate that. So we are on Monday. As I always do, I go through my weekly rounds. Basically, you recruit. I have to go all the way back to Starfleet Academy to recruit new people, and that requires your ship to go all the way back to the academy. You could do it from your Fleet Star base, but our Fleet Star base currently doesn't have the capability of doing that because we haven't built that function into it. But since the last recording, we've actually made quite a bit of progress on the fleet mine. That's what my character, who's the fleet admiral, she's assigned to building that project. And we're almost done. We finished doing the grind for the development of the mine. And we're finishing up the trade. I've already started on the upgrade for the Tier 3 facility. And that unlocks quite a bit of good things for the mine. I'll get into that more later as we go through our rounds. So here I am. I'm at the Fleet Star base basically, and I want to warp back to the Sol system, back to Earth and Starfleet Command. Now our base is sitting out there on the neutral zone between the Federation and the Klingon Empire there in the Beta quadrant. It was announced the next expansion is going to open up the Gamma Quadrant for the game. That's kind of an exciting period. It's been 8 years. They've talked about it for a long time. 9 years almost. And it'd be quite cool. If they make it to be like it is in the actual show where you go through the wormhole and you end up in the Gamma Quadrant, that'd be pretty cool. Because then it would be like, the way the game is, to get to like the Delta Quadrant, you have to go to the Solanae, what's is it Dyson Sphere? There's two Dyson Sphere in the game. There's the Solanae Dyson Sphere, and then the one that Scotty found, basically. And if you go through the story, they explain the history of them, and then that's how you get to the Delta Quadrant, basically, in the game. It's like a hub, and then battle zone, basically. And then back in the day, before they introduced the PvE queue, you had to go hang out at DS9, basically. That's where everyone hid out. Basically hung out to do the Borg stuff, which back before they really expanded the game, that was pretty much it. The Borg area. And the Borg, where were they? Back then they called them SDFs, basically. Special Strike Force or Task Force missions. And yeah, they were actually pretty difficult. They were more difficult back then than they are now. Definitely. It took a lot of coordination between 5 people to get them done. It would be, I would say, the equivalent of a 5-man raid in Star Trek Online to the 5-man raid in World of Warcraft. Although Star Trek Online is, at least in its present form, is nowhere near as difficult as World of Warcraft. I would say the SDFs, originally when they were introduced, were almost as in the range as hard as a normal dungeon would be in World of Warcraft. But Mythic plus raid are 100 times harder than Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online isn't meant to be a very difficult game. It's just a game that you can go with your buddies or yourself and have fun for a couple hours and exploring the game. So here we are. We're back on Earth. I've beamed down to Starfleet Academy. Made the trek all the way back to Earth. This is the life of a fleet admiral. Our weekly series is going to be called the Black Sheep Fleet Logs, which is named after our fleet. Our fleet actually has been together for over 8 years in the game. Pretty much the same original 8 people are in the guild. Don't call them guilds in this game, they call them fleets. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I do want to shoot a weekly series for Star Wars The Old Republic, but I have to find a day to shoot that on, like a Saturday or Sunday I can play it on. But I play that game a lot slower than I do a lot of other games, because for me that's more of a relaxing, take your time and enjoy. I don't really play that game to like speed through it and stuff, so that's my, it's gonna be one of my Saturday or Sunday afternoon games. Here I'm doing my RP walk. I like to walk in games. It's one of my, I get it that people run around in game, but I like the games where you can get out and walk around and see things. One of the good things about Star Trek Online is the character details. See, all my characters, I've modeled them after different models and actresses in the game. This character here, she's modeled after Adrian Polacki. She was, originally she was casted to play Wonder Woman in a TV show, but they ended up not making that. But I got a copy of that. And I went ahead and made a version of her using the 3D editor that Cryptic provides. I myself have my own 3D editor, which is the iClone system. And I sculpt and model a lot of people using the system. So I used the techniques I've learned in that I used in this game. So I'm talking to the personnel officer. I've got to order up my people. This requires dilithium, which my ship generates a significant amount of dilithium a week. So right there I'm down to my last, I can't read the number because it's in small print on Adobe Premiere here, but I believe we were down in the 80,000 range. So I'm going to demonstrate how we replenish that quickly. That's poor. Like, you get under 100,000, that's considered poor in this game. So, my character's never had a problem amassing wealth in this game, so. At least this character hasn't. And, we remedy that as the video goes on. So here she is. Pretty good detail. I like using the original uniforms in the game. When I go on my ship, I actually use the original bridge from the Enterprise, which is the bridge I like to use in Star Trek Bridge Crew. Here we go. We're returning back to sector space. And we're just going to warp back to the fleet. The way the game mechanics are, if you enter the fleet base from sector space and you go through, like, go down to the actual interior, go through mission, and use the transporter to go over to the dilithium mine or any other fleet asset, if you return to sector space from any of those assets, it returns you back from the original sector space that we came from. Here's the calendar for the week. You can see Mother's Day is coming up. We're coming up on the bonus mark weekend. We're going to take advantage of that to get some fleet marks this week. Definitely taking advantage of that this weekend. Those of you that don't know, Mother's Day is coming up. By the time this video plays, it would already be over. But it'd be a day later. So, if you're hearing this for the first time, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So here we are. We're warping back. Here's the sector space. One of the good things they did in Star Trek Online is they changed sector space to mimic how real space actually works. And originally, when the game came out, this was supposed to be like stellar cartography was in the movie Star Trek. What was it? Generations. And but no one really liked it. They still have that. That's why if you hit the basic astrometrics there, you can still have that. It's still in the game, but most people turn it off and fly around and make it look like real space. But that's how we cruise around. So now that I got all my people order up, those take slots from your duty officer roster. You can have up to 400 people on your duty roster. This is one of the only characters that I have that set up. It makes it convenient. You only really need about 30, 40 duty officers to run the ship and do missions on a daily basis, and the rest you can use for transferring people. Which, as a fleet admiral, that's a really good skill to know how to do, especially when you're building fleet projects. And being able to move people around, and you can amass a great amount of wealth in the game doing that, and also complete a lot of projects in the game. So we go. We need on Mondays, I always fly back to the fleet base, and I do what are called my commendation reports. As you do missions every day with your duty officers, they generate what they call CXP, or commendation experience. And once you mass out a particular field, there's like 13, 14 schools in there, you'll have like every 10,000 points above that, you can exchange for fleet marks. So when your crew does an exceptionally well job, you basically come in every week and you file a commendation report like you would do in the real world. And then that results in fleet marks. And then, so like every Monday, I come in, I get a pretty good amount of fleet marks above and beyond what I would normally grind out in a week, which is about 500 to 600 a week. But But the commendation report, you get like 75 per department, which is based on the departments of the ship. And then so there are like 9 departments, so you can get like 200-300 points in one event versus what you would make in a week. So it's one of the things I like to do on Monday as a fleet admiral. So here it is. Here's the little on the Federation base. This is the terminal. Now I don't have anybody that can file one this week, so that pretty much I have to wait till next week. And then come up to our. This guy isn't activated yet, although he's there because our star base isn't high enough yet. But we have unlocked this, and what this allows you to do is by common duty officer. Here are the projects, and each project requires a certain amount of personnel. See right there where it says common duty officer. You need like several hundred of them there. And then I've been slowly knocking it out every day. And then so I'm going to order up about 100, I think. And they're paid for by fleet credits, which you earn by doing projects or donating. Anytime you donate anything to a project for the fleet, you are rewarded fleet credits, which I've made like in total in the last 8 years. I made about 12 million fleet credits. Of course, I spent a lot of that building the base, basically building the dilithium mine. Technically, we've been building that base for what, 6 years? Yeah. But our fleet's only with 8 people, so in a small fleet, it takes forever to build these projects. If you have like a fleet of 500 people, they probably finished building their base like 5 years ago. So we're not in a hurry. So it gives you something to do while they're making new stories. So each one of those can make a, I called those pallets, 50 people. I think we're getting about 100. Since it's gonna take a while to grind those things down, I elect to only do it like in 50 to 100 increments, and then you can gradually weed it down on a daily basis. Again, there's no hurry to do it. So you see, I pay that off, and I fill up that little common duty officer thing. Doing some clicking on those things because you're one guy, so you gotta click that box 50 times or 100 times for 2 of them to get the people on board your ship roster. There you see the number going up there, which you can have a total of 400 people on your duty roster. No matter what size ship you have, it's always set at 400. So if you set your ship personnel around 50 to manage a ship and do all your projects, then that leaves you 350 that you could donate to projects around the galaxy as the admiral. And as an admiral, since I have like 20 alts, I have each one of my alts I consider my own personal fleet within a fleet. So I use those to generate material and people. And you select all. They didn't used to have a select all button. You used to have to press all those things one at a time. Luckily they added a select all button to help us out. Made all that money back. Yeah. So here we go. I'm gonna go fill up my dilithium crystals here. At first I only do 1/5 at a time usually. but I decided to be bold. And I wanted to demonstrate this on the video. So, how do you replenish your dilithium really fast? How the pros do it. But before I do that, I walked over to the store there, ship store, and or space station store, and I bought some. These are things that you can requisition to the fleet store, and it allows you to buy bonus points for fleet marks, which you can get. Each one is 100 points at a time, and it slowly awards you when you do the battles bonus marks. So I usually buy 3 at a time, sometimes 6 at a time. Depends on my mood. So here goes. I'm demonstrating the dilithium store here. So see, I go over here. I look to see how much dilithium is selling for today on the seller's market. I don't have any in storage there. And then I need to go over and see how many Zen I have, which I get 500 because I have a lifetime subscription. You get 500 Zen a month, which I have 4,000, so I haven't spent any in like 6 months. So that's what, 5, 10, 15, 20. It's 1,000 every 2 months. So I donate 4,000 Zen to the community. I'm going to make what, 1.2 million dilithium back. And what that does is for the people playing free to play that don't want to actually go out and buy dilithium, people like me can go out and donate Zen to that community, and they can buy stuff from the C-store with Zen, and all they got to do is pay dilithium. I, of course, want dilithium. Since I invest in Zen, and I do grind out a lot of dilithium, but there's no need to, since I'm wealthy in the game. And that's how you come up with 1.2 million dilithium. So now with my dilithium all replenished, that's a couple months worth of dilithium right there. I'm gonna buy like 2-3 packs. If you look over there under the mini map, you see the little green bar. That's the meter. I want to replenish that. So here we go. Fleet marks. I think I bought 6. I only bought 3. Go over here and use them. 2, 3. So that boosted my thing up by another 300. See over there. Pool of. Now that my buff meter is back up for the week, I like to keep that between 500 and 600 starting out the week. So now I can go back to the project down there, and I decided to go with the Gustos since I only needed 500,000. Yep. Pay that sucker off. And I made 1 million some fleet credits back. So it boosts me up to 7. On the leaderboard, it put me at the 8 million mark on the leaderboard for the asset. Yay. Well, now that all my stuff at the fleet base is taken care of, the only thing I have to do at this point for the rest of the week is maintain my duty officer rotation to generate dilithium for each of the 5 days. I only grind out 5 days a week, and so I take the weekends off. I give my crew, as a good captain and fleet admiral, I give them the weekend off. Except on Mondays when I fly back to Starfleet Command. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the teleporter transporter to go over to the dilithium mine. Now, as a good fleet admiral, since I've built up my base, I can use the interplanetary shuttle to go there. The other admirals haven't built that into their projects yet, so they all have to fly all the way out to their bases. Construction projects. Once I'm done building the fleet mine, which is going to be pretty soon, I'm going to be taking over the construction of the research base all the way out in the Delta Quadrant. I plan to use all my characters on that one. Which should go a little bit faster. Although it's a lot of work logging in 20 different characters every day. Because you have to battle each of them. And that takes a while. I found it a little more economical just to do it with 3 characters. Sometimes 5, including my Klingon and Romulan character. Now we don't have enough ore to do that. Extra 500 a day. So, but we can do. What this does is it rewards our dilithium mining provisions. That, as we finish each main branch of development, and we start doing the provision missions, we're going to need those free ones to complete those projects. Here's the mine. There we go. Now, if I go back to the sector, you'll see I'll end up back in sector space in the beta quadrant, where I started from before. Even though the mine is actually in the alpha quadrant, or by DS9. We ended up back in the beta quadrant, where we initially left sector space. So now I got that out of the way. I just need to go do a combat tour for the day to generate fleet marks. And then finish paying out all the projects for the day. Showing you a map of the known galaxy. Alpha, Beta, and Delta quadrant. See the map over the circle is the larger galaxy, and those little color spots represent these zones. See, the Delta quadrant is just a little sliver out there. And then they're going to be opening up the Gamma quadrant next, so that's going to be fun. Okay, let's get our R&D out of the way. When I make my developmental tech in the game, I generally don't make more than 1 a day. But with each one you do, it generates 2 superior tech at a time. So, but I never run that more than once a day. So, I'm never out of material. I have far more R&D material than I will at the rate at which I consume it. So, this is the Admiralty thing. I'm sending out my fleets on daily missions, and that rewards you specialization points up there. And I have pretty much all the specialization most of them done, except for a couple, and I'm slowly going through now and getting all the minor ones done. Just slowly running out of specializations. That's a good position to be in. Myself, I only like doing the 15, 30, and hour-long projects. I don't really like doing anything more than 2 hours. And I find that to be more economical than anything. I only really do these once a day, so... But the thing is, under 2 hours, the ship goes out, does its job, and then you end up... Even a 2-hour job, some of those ships can end up with like a 16-hour maintenance. So if you keep it under 2 hours, even the most extensive maintenance, by the time you come back at the 24 hours later, the ship would already be back from maintenance. So I find that if you do these once a day, no matter what ship you use, it's a little more economical. It pays for itself. As I said before, we're intending this to be a weekly series. And about an hour playtime. I have another video for World of Warcraft that I'm doing, and I'll probably end up doing another one for Star Wars. But that one will depend on my work schedule for the week. So... One of the things that delayed our Star Wars videos is we had to dispute. One of the videos we shot got hit with a copyright dispute with the John Williams score, which is based on when you transition from like one map to another, there's like a couple seconds that the John Williams score plays in the game. And got hit with the copyright thing, and so we disputed it because it's not like I set out to make a video and then queued up a John Williams score and boom, put it on the video. It's something that happens in the game that I have no control of. And my dispute was that I can only control for things that I am only liable for things that I can control. See what I'm saying? If I'm shooting a live video, and someone happily logs in and starts playing something, or does something I have no control over, I can't be responsible for that. I can't be liable for that. See what I'm saying? Like when I'm sitting here and an ice cream truck goes by and plays something, that's not for me to... I didn't have any intent on that. I can't control that. And so, and when you're shooting a video, part of what makes something what they call public access or fair use, if you're making an instructional video or some type of educational thing, which we are, then you can use that type of material in there because it's fair use. And because the game is a publicly accessible game that's free to play, I mean, it's like listening to the radio, right? So we didn't win our dispute, but they basically said that as long as we didn't monetize the video, then we could go ahead and use it. Which they sent us a similar thing with Battlefront 2, and I'm interpreting all that to mean that we can use the video as long as we don't attempt to monetize it, and they're monetizing their own stuff, which I don't know how they're making money from it, but it seems like they would spend more money sending everybody a legal notice. See what I'm saying? Then I don't know who's running their legal department at Disney, but I think they're hurting their long-term business goal, because the only thing they're going to succeed at doing is alienating thousands of people out there who are their market. You know, if you're trying to build a game that is based on the true advertisement, the game is based on people streaming the game or making these small videos that doesn't cost Disney any money at all to make, and then the person shooting the video has all the risk, and they're out there nickeling and diming people over that. It seemed they would spend more money fighting that than they would actually make back, and at the same time they would alienate the people they're trying to sell products to, right? The gamer. And this gamer is the one that goes and watches the movies. So if you're out there alienating those people, I think that's probably opposing your business objectives, right? Why attack your audience? It seems silly. So, but out of all the games that we stream, and on our site, we stream like between streaming and making videos, at least in the last year or so, some 12 to 20 games, right? And we're not the only people that are doing it. There are a lot of people streaming games and making videos these days. And it seemed to me that they're the only company doing that. They're the only company that I've seen do that. And it seems backwards. So, like, you don't see Wargaming or Blizzard out there nickel and diming people because they hear a soundtrack from World of Warcraft in their game. If anything, they encourage that behavior, right? And Blizzard made, what, $4 billion in sales last year? Just on their, what is it, their, not from the game directly, but from their, like, outside sales for like the crates, loot crates, and all that other stuff. And they seem to embrace people who are streaming and people who are freely advertising their game for them. And then it's probably why they're making money and the other company's not. It seems that their objective is backwards, I think. Anyway, getting back to this game, I've gone through and completed the Admiralty thing. I've gone and got all my projects situated. So all I need to do now is queue up for I should see the alarm sounded. It can take a while when you queue up for a combat mission, so and if people accept. A lot of times what I do is I go sit in my bridge and wait for the the alarm to sound, the red alert whistle. So here we are, getting ready for battle. It looks like all these other ships are... this is one of the few events in the queue where you can be queued up with low-level captains and high-level captains. So I'm looking at some Tier 1, Tier 2 ships there. Yeah, I'm looking, so I decided to set my phasers to maximum power. So I'm probably going to be the workhorse here, blasting people, even though I'm a science ship. Actually, an Intel science ship. Which slows my speed down considerably. But with an hour-long video, I got my logistics stuff done in the first half of the video, and the last half of this video is all battles. Okay, let's get the ship moving and firing all weapons. Now in Star Trek Online, if you don't target a Pacific ship, your guns will automatically shoot everybody around you. See how I'm shooting at multiple targets? You have to think of your starship as just a glorified turret. And you're just turning and blasting everybody around you. If you set your guns up right, phasers and torpedoes, you can do some serious damage to multiple targets. Nice little phaser battery here. Blast that dude out of the sky. Now my guns on my ship aren't spectacular, but they're all Mark 14 weapons. I don't have any epic weapons, but not yet anyway. But close to as I can get. I had to craft all my own weapons, so it's taken me a while. My turrets. In these type of games, want need or greed, always select need. If you select greed, you're never gonna get anything. So you're better off hitting need, because even if you hit need, it's not like you automatically get the thing. You're gonna have to roll between 1 and 5 people, and like if there are 10 people on the map, you know, it's gonna be split between the 10. So. At least 1 in 5 that you'll even get the item. It's what, 20% odds? Now this particular ship is an intel signed ship, so if I target people, I hit my sensor analysis. That spots out weaknesses in the enemy, and it stacks. And then the other thing is I gather intel on the target, which the 3 buffs there, one's for a weapon, it debuffs their weapons, one debuffs their engineering, and the other one debuffs basically their science skills or auxiliary power skills, which is useful. That would usually affect their ship's ability to heal, which, believe it or not, NPC ships do heal. It's actually a fairly quick battle. Stefano group here. Once I'm in position, I'm gonna drop my little dampening field thing there, which dampens the amount of damage that the other ships can take. Yep. Blew all those guys up.
Congratulations.
Oh, I didn't need to do that. Yay. Battle over. We won, guys. Yay. Let's quickly... I never leave any loot just laying around. I make sure I grab stuff. Especially since they introduced salvage in the game. They didn't used to have salvage in the game, but it's actually quite a useful thing. I'm glad they put it in the game. Star Wars has a proper salvage system. And I'm glad it made its way into this game. We warp back out of the system. Warp back to our Fleet Star base. Now I've been hanging out here because wherever you position your ship in the galaxy changes the amount of missions that are available for your duty officer. So around here I get missions that gives a nice assortment of free stuff, which I need. Alright, here we are, we're salvaging all that stuff. We're not hurting for cash, so it's more economical to salvage all that. Because you don't really make a whole lot from salvage, but we do get all that R&D material, which in itself is valuable. See down there our salvage. It's about, was it 6,000? I can't see the number in Adobe Premiere, but 67 something, I think. There's our R&D stack there. I see my inventory is massively filled there. Running out of room. That's how much R&D material I have right there. Look at that. And that's just one of my ships. I have tons of R&D material spread out through all my characters and any place I can store material. We ended up doing counterpoint for the next battle, I believe. Here we go. See some of those Admiralty missions already completed, the 15-minute ones. Okay, alright. Got those all filled. specialization. I'm working on the Miracle Worker tree. Had extra 2 points there. So I knocked out this side of the tree first. In addition to these little trees, they also, as you go up the tree there, it's after so many points you unlock different traits, which add to your, you see that trait tab up there for your captain trait. And those are all pretty decent bonuses that you get with your character at high level. Here we are, we're on duty, waiting for the next mission to pop. What we're trying to do is make that, was it 25,000 Polaron damage. Earlier in the video, what I do is I switch out one of my turrets. Because 25,000, you can get that pretty easy. See, one battle I got like, what, 10,000. I'm almost half the points I needed in one battle, so that's why we're doing this. Normally I would only do the fleet base alert, but I wanted to do this other battle to get that thing out of the way, and that's why I elected to do counterpoint, because I knew there would be a lot of gunfire in that. I would definitely reach the amount of points I need. Here we are, I'm going into the interior. See, we're in tech space. You can see the interior of the ship. And again, I use the classic TOS interior, which if you've been watching the channel and you've been watching any of our Star Trek Bridge Crew videos, we take this to the next level with both games. Now, both games model the original bridge pretty well, but I feel that the one in Star Trek Bridge Crew is better. In my opinion. It's definitely more detailed, and for this game, the bridge is a lot wider than it would be. If you went on the actual stage itself, it wouldn't be that big. It's a little smaller. But it serves its purpose. My Balkan lady. There's Datum there. Turatu is technically, in my story, that's her sister. There's the captain and the helm there, they're sisters. While I was sitting here, I thought I would upgrade that turret. It's only a Mark 12 turret, so I wanted to upgrade it to a Mark 14. So I decided to craft some tech here while I'm sitting. Also, if you want things to pop quickly, go off to doing something else, and while you're in the middle of doing it, that's when things tend to pop. If you didn't do anything else, it would take like forever to get a mission to come up. But because we started crafting, see, the alarm goes off. There it is. You can see there with the bonus, I was able to grab 2 of those units in one build. Here we go. The mission's loading.
DS9 to all Alliance ships. We are under attack.
Alright, here we go. Now again, my ship is a science vessel, so we're not a heavy pounder. We're here to use skill and technology to overcome the enemy's defenses. Here we go. Now the first part of this battle is fairly straightforward. You knock out these people trying to infiltrate DS9. Trying to do here is get up above the targets so it's easier to hit them.
by complete surprise.
Alright, knocked out the first wave. On to the second wave. Move my ship into position. Now, believe it or not, there's a ground version of this battle, where this is the space part of the battle, but there's a ground version of this where you're the unit that goes down to DS9 in Terok Nor, and you end up battling Evil Lita from the Mirror Universe, who's trying to take over. Yep, that's it for the second wave. On to the next wave. The third wave.
They're breaking off.
Now this part's a little trickier. You gotta take the strike team from DS9 and land as many of them onto the other ship. Now what happens here in most groups is no one does that. Everyone just ends up battling. So if you want the battle to go quickly, someone has to grab troops and carry them over to the other thing. Which, if you're ever on this battle and you're wondering why it's taking forever, it's because no one is delivering troops to take over Terok Nor. So here I am. See, I uploaded my strike team, and I'm battling my way over to the other evil DS9. I'm gonna drop them off. Now you gotta have your wits about you here, because you gotta repair your ship as the station's shooting at you. So you gotta fly over to get the button. See, there it is. Now I'm downloading, beaming my people aboard as I'm making repairs. Look at that. Now I'm going back to DS9 to get the next strike team. next strike team, heading back over.
You are fools to oppose us.
See, I'm running maximum shields. If you learn to tap your, I have my balanced shield set in my 1 button, which you learn to spam that, you can overcome a lot of damage in this game. I call it tapping your shields. It's basically keep tapping that button, and they'll
We've conquered everyone else.
re-energize your shields while you're being shot at by a massive wave of energy weapons. Some people don't know how to use that, and their shields end up getting beaten down.
The Emperor. Crush.
Even though our hull went down to like 28, our shields are still up, which that mitigates damage. Gives me time to repair the ship without being destroyed. You have to know why things work on a starship. There I am, slowly healing the ship back. Now, if your ship is badly damaged and isn't destroyed, all you have to do is withdraw from the battle about 10 kilometers, and the ship will heal on its own. As long as it hasn't been shot at or hit, it'll heal on its own quickly. Then you can return to the battle. I demonstrate that up ahead here. A lot of people don't know that you can do that in a game. See, I got my ship shields back up real quickly. I simply do that by tapping my balance shield button, which is, I have it set in the number 1 position. And you see we deliver quite a significant amount of strike teams over. The bar is going down. Oop. Getting low, but I'm tapping my shields. See how it quickly regenerates my shields? Yeah. You keep the ship alive though. And then what I do is I withdraw from the battle, because all my stuff are on cooldown. My heals are on cooldown. So I'm going to withdraw from battle. Use my basic maneuvers. And you'll see the ship will quickly heal as soon as I get out of 10-kilometer range from being shot. The ship starts to heal rapidly. See that? See how the ship is healing? Quickly. Yeah. Yep. Now the ship is back, I can return to the fight. And I can deliver my strike team. See that? My brilliant command capabilities. Now, a lot of people don't know how to set the ship up in the game, so you can shoot at multiple targets at a time. I'm one of the few that know how. I'm not saying that to brag or anything, it's a good skill to know in the game. Especially if you're new to the game. Tapping shields, not a lot of people know how to do that. Now, when the game first came out, the first 4 to 5 months that the game was out, auto fire wasn't a feature. That was added later. You had to manually shoot everything. The Outlook is
Search coming from Terrock North.
paging me there. Oh, see, we beat the wave.
Reinforcements will put you in your place.
I don't know if I did another battle after this, but I thought I had switched to a different character and did a quick battle. Coming up on the 1 hour and 13-minute mark, and the video is only 1 hour and 19 minutes long, so it's what, 6 minutes left. So now here, all I do is I put my ship in position right here, hold position, and just start blasting people. Just see how I keep tapping the 1 key, tapping my shields, keeping my shields strong. Then let your phasers do the work. And they'll, simply by not targeting on people, you can blast everything around your starship. Basically, if you form a line of ships, they'll blast everything in front of that line. A lot of new captains don't know how to do that. And end up trying to be like one guy on an island, and they end up dying a lot. They don't know how to play as a team. One of the things that's underutilized in this game are mines. A lot of people don't know the value of them in the game. And they're very useful. Just for this situation right here. See how I keep my shield strong by tapping them? See all those mines?
You haven't seen the last of me.
And that's the last wave. Collect our marks.
Terrock North has been sent back to the mirror universe. We wouldn't.
I took the Terran marks this time for the daily, which it does reward some fleet marks. So I don't really spend all my other than fleet marks. I really don't spend them, so I end up just amassing them. Although I could easily convert them to dilithium, I don't generally do. I find it much easier just to use my Zen and convert that over to dilithium. According to this, we only got 3 minutes left. I don't think I did another battle. Might be thinking of Tuesday. I play this game every day, so I might have my days confused. So, yeah, we're gonna bonus. Now we're gonna salvage all this gear. See all the stuff that material that I got. I think that's worth more than money. And then here's the bonus for the quite a bit of money there. There's our bonus marks. We're gonna definitely select fleet. And now that we got all those bonus, we're gonna add that bonus to our fleet project. And R&D. See right there. There's the 2 units. Go ahead and close out these fleet projects or admiralty projects. And collect that. Top off our duty officer missions. The duty shift. And that's gonna do it for us for this Monday. This week in Star Trek Online. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next Monday. Same time, same channel. Have fun. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.